Welcome to LECOM Health Matters. Our guest today is Amber Beason. Amber is the development manager of the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Pennsylvania, which includes what? Let's start right there.
Which includes heading out the walks for a couple different areas in Greater PA. So I am the walk manager for Erie, Clarion, Sharon, and Warren Walk.
Do you walk all of those?
Yes, I do.
Good for you.
Yes, I do.
Good for you. Let's talk a little bit about Alzheimer's before we talk into specifics about the walk. Okay. So in terms of Alzheimer's, how would you describe it to a novice person listening to this? What is it?
What is Alzheimer's?
Yeah.
Alzheimer's is a brain disease. It is under the dementia umbrella. And I mean, it depends on what stage you are of the disease, but, you start having some memory loss and things like that, cognitive problems and things of that nature. So the Alzheimer's Association biggest vision is a world without Alzheimer's and other dementia.
Well, we clearly are a world, sadly, with Alzheimer's. Approximately 5.8 million Americans have it. Does Alzheimer's affect any particular group of people more than another?
The older population, of course, but with that, then you have the caregivers and the loved ones that are also really affected. So it's kind of like a trickle-down effect, a domino effect of the people that are affected.
Right. Does affect older folks, obviously, in greater numbers, thankfully, than young people, although there are some cases of young dementia, but they're few and far between, thank God. But the old ones are clearly not, and it clearly is a big burden upon a family. So if I'm a family member and I suspect mom or dad is not functioning, what are some signs that I should look for that I might think that maybe they're on the path to Alzheimer's or dementia?
Yeah. So memory loss would be a big one. Repetitive storytelling is another big one. I think there's just a big stigma on dementia and Alzheimer's. So I think in the older population, you have those people that are like, oh, grandma's just forgetting. Oh, so-and-so just misplaced something or things like that. But you really, really have to kind of hone in on that. And just because they're getting older doesn't mean that it's just them getting older. It might be.
Memory loss is not necessarily a sign of old age.
Right.
But it is a sign of Alzheimer's.
Right.
And I think when younger folks taking care of their parents or their relatives, when, as you say, mom starts forgetting things, she starts repeating things, she has trouble managing her bills and managing money. And so if someone, a caregiver, is concerned about a relative or their parent and they sense this, they go to their primary care doctor, they call you. What do you think they should do?
So a primary care doctor would probably be the best first step. The Alzheimer's Association, on our website, we have some support groups, 24-hour hotline that they can give a call to, trying to get some resources beyond their primary health care, because, primary health care is going to be like, yes, but now we need to go to neurology or things like that, to a higher doctor. So.
And what you would do is if somebody went to their PCP and they found out, they're in early stages of dementia, Alzheimer's, then the association would help them find neurologists that would tend to them, support groups that would help them
in their area
manage. Because it's a heavy burden on the caregiver, is it not?
It is. I would say when I was in high school, my great-grandfather was diagnosed with dementia. And seeing the burden that it put on my great-grandmother and then the family in general, we didn't have those support groups or did not know that you could go on to a website and find some support groups and find people in your area, doctors in your area that could actually help manage some of the, mental problems that they are occurring. So it's nice now to know that, you can give someone a call, you can go on the website and you can get some information in your area in Erie, Pennsylvania that can actually help you.
And in the other cities that you're serving with the walks.
Right.
Clearly, you mentioned earlier on about the stigma. There is a stigma about mental health and mental disease, which is really unfortunate. I think we're getting to the point of realizing this is a disease, not something that the old phrase, my crazy uncle that I put in the closet and never bring out of the closet when company's in the house. I think we've gotten better at recognizing that. But I think it's a true statement that what your association clearly does is say to people, this is a disease that we can support you and help you manage.
Yeah. Yes. And it's a prevalent disease and it does affect, as you said, millions of people. And then that trickle down effect and affecting the caregivers, the family and loved ones. And then just people that don't have any connection right out to the disease, but see people in their community, neighbors and things that, oh, Susie used to be bright spot in our life. She knew all the kids' games and things, and then that kind of just goes away as well. So it's just.
And without any support, I think it's very difficult for families to help manage their relative, their mom, dad, whoever has it. And your group surely points them. What are some of those sources, some of those support mechanisms that you could point people towards?
Yeah. So we have, as I said, support groups. Mm-hmm. We have the hotline that is 24 hours. So that anytime you need, day or night, you can give us a call.
And what would happen if I call?
So they would get all the information. If you were a caregiver, get all the information from the patient that you're taking care of, the area that you're in, what exactly, where they're at in the stage of Alzheimer's and dementia, mm-hmm. so that we can actually point you in the right direction to the next steps on who to reach out to. And for the most part, our support group and our 1-800 number is so good that they usually call with all the information and get you in.
Your group will call and get them into the appropriate physician's office or care center if the disease has progressed that far. Right. It depends on where they go. Because people, I suspect, I know with their own senior living communities, even when they're dealing with mom and dad who's just older and not suffering, say, from dementia, it's hard for them. Where do they go? Who do they call? Who do they pick up the phone? What do they know about these places and how well their loved one is going to be treated?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's really kind of a blank slate. Mm-hmm. So what I'm hearing the association does is really say to somebody, we can point you to a couple different places. We can make those first contacts and open the doors. Your decision,
right?
What you want to do, mm-hmm. but we can show you where to go and what to do. And that's an invaluable resource, I would think.
Yeah.
And I would think that hotline is busy with people.
Oh, yeah. It's booming. Yeah.
What other services might the association provide to people who are dealing with loved ones?
We do the research for the cure, basically. So that's what the walk is. The fundraising is for the walk. Mm-hmm. About 79% of the money that's raised at each walk goes back into research. So we have some early detection now. We have some things in the work with the FDA to try to come up with an early detection and how to kind of stop you where you're at in the Alzheimer's and dementia stage. So, you're at memory loss and we want to kind of just keep you there and not have it progress anymore. So we're coming up with some treatments to actually
I saw the FDA just approve something.
Yeah.
As a trial to halt the progress, which would be and there are some other medications I suspect out there that people could really use. But again, people who are struggling with this don't know where to go.
Exactly.
Don't know how to open that first door. And that's what the association does.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the walk. What brought you into this line of work?
Well,
you said earlier about your granddad.
Yeah. So my great-grandfather had the disease. And I'm just seeing this is an older generation coming up right now. And so when I was proposed with this opportunity to come to the Alzheimer's Association, I jumped on it immediately. The vision of them having a world without all dementia and all other Alzheimer's is amazing. Like, that is what I want to see. If you come to the walks, you'll see people with different color flowers. They might be a caregiver, so they have a yellow flower. If they have Alzheimer's, they have a purple flower. But there is one flower that's it's white, which means you've never been affected. You don't really have any, and I want by about 10 years, I want all white. All white flowers and no one.
Well, tell us about the walk now. It's a major event. What is it?
The walk here in Erie. It's a 2024 walk to end Alzheimer's.
2024. Okay, and it's September 21st.
September 21st. Registration's at 9 a.m.
Well, let's back up. Where is it at first?
Perry Square.
Where are we going to walk? Oh, Perry Square.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's every year at Perry Square. So we'll walk there, Perry Square. Registration's at 9.
Can people register before, or do they have to register the day of?
So I would encourage before, either going online. You can find, if you just go alzheimers.org, you click, your zip code, and it'll take you right to the Erie Walk, and you can either join a team or make your own team. So online you can do it. You can do it at some of the events that we have leading up to the walk.
Which would be like what?
We have a celebrity bartending event at the Sloppy Duck August 1st.
Is Ryan going to go down?
Yes, he is.
Our videographer? Mm-hmm. Good for him.
Ryan's going. Bells and whistles on. I'm going to make him do a bunch of stuff.
And these are to raise dollars, obviously.
Yes, yeah. All the proceeds go back to the walk. We have some great celebrity bartenders that are going to be there from 5 to 8. Mm-hmm. So that is another great opportunity to come. I'll have some forms. You can sign up right there, and we can add you to a team or start your own team. Or you can give me a call. Yeah.
Now, the day of the walk, are there activities and things that happen other than the walk? Activities that happen around the walk?
Yes. So we have sponsors, and then we have just different things we want to make it family friendly. So I have a face painter coming for some kids. Mm-hmm. Love that. We're going to have some food trucks out there. We'll have and the Seawolves. Love the Seawolves. So they'll be out there partying with us for the morning. So yeah, it's going to be a good crowd.
So the day it starts at what time?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. What time does the actual walk start?
Walk starts around 10:30.
Around 10:30. So there are activities from like 9 to 10:30, then the walk and concluding activities. How far do they walk?
They really just walk down and back. It's not that big of a walk.
It's not a marathon.
It's not a marathon. No, it's not a marathon. So the city helps us. They shut down a couple blocks of the street, and there's just a way to just go down, and you're just coming back with the people. So It's just kind of like a
one time around the square.
Well, you can do whatever you want.
And you said that they carry certain kind of flowers?
Yeah. So we have a promise garden. So each person will go up to the promise garden and pick out the color flower that represents why they're here. Mm-hmm. If they have Alzheimer's or dementia, if they're a caregiver of somebody, if they just know somebody with the disease, or they might not have any connection, just want to be an ally. So we just have different flowers for everyone to come and pick up, and they can put the name of who, they're walking for, or if they're walking for themselves. And then we just have an area where they can plant them.
And plant the flowers. And how much is registration?
There is no registration fee.
No registration fee. It's all for free.
Yes.
To the participants.
Yes.
But obviously the events you're having before help fund it and help support it.
Yeah.
And who are some of your sponsors this year?
LECOM is our presenting sponsor this year. Mm-hmm. Erie Strayer is one of our other top sponsors. Widget Financial is another one. Erie Bank, they're not a sponsor, but they have a big team and they do good work fundraising wise. Erie Seawolves also are a great sponsor and help a lot.
But we're the presenting sponsor this year,
LECOM,
which we're happy to do.
Yes.
And happy to support it, because
it
is indeed a difficult thing. Other than the walk, are there other fundraisers coming up through the year?
Yeah, so the celebrity bartending event, and then June 20th is what we call the longest day, which is the longest day of the year, June 20th is. But it's a fundraising event where anyone can start a fundraiser, and the courthouse is actually going to be lit up purple that day.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's going to be, I would think that's going to be really cool, honestly. Yeah.
That's right. It is the longest day of the year. Any other activities?
We're trying to put together another kickoff event at the new 5-iron golf. Mm-hmm. Stay tuned with that. But
stay tuned with that one. You got enough on your plate now with the run, the celebrity bartenders, and the longest day of the year, I would think. But I think to kind of wrap up here, what I think the association clearly does is try to remove the stigma, which is such a problem that we see over and over and over again. And people sometimes are so bad before they seek help. There's really little we can do to manage it. I mean, you can't cure it, sadly. But as you said, there are some new drugs along the way that might help halt the progress of it. But none of that can happen unless people understand that this is a disease, nothing to be hid under the table or put your aunt and uncle in the closet and don't bring them out when company comes. Yeah. And this is something that we really need to do and need to address. And that's really what I think one of the major principles of the association is, and all the activities that you are planning. If you were going to say one thing to the community about this, what would you say?
Come out and support.
And how would they do that? Again, just to wrap up.
So start a team, join a team, come out to our kickoff events, come out to the walk. Give me a call if you want to start a team. Give me a call if you have some fundraising ideas, if you want me to be involved in this year. I'm here to help. When
is the kickoff event?
The kickoff event is the celebrity bartending.
Oh, that is the celebrity bartending. That kicks the whole thing off. Mm-hmm. And then the run itself is on September 21st. And new further activities to come.
Yep.
And if the website is just, what is the website, your website?
So it's alz.org. And then you would go in and click on Erie, and then you go right to the Erie Walk.
Goes right to the Erie Walk. And just to be clear, this is also happening in what other cities are you running?
I'm running Warren, Clarion, and Sharon as well.
Well, then you'll be walking and running a lot.
Yeah. All of September.
All of September. Well, we hope you have good weather, number one, when this happens.
Fingers crossed.
And I do thank you for all the work you're doing with Alzheimer's. It's a insidious disease.
Yeah.
And I think as we learn more about it, we learn that more people sadly have it. And the association and you do great work to not prevent it, but manage it. And for that, we thank you. So again, call you at the Alzheimer's Association and go out for a walk for Alzheimer's.
Yes, please.
Thank you for being with us today. Our guest has been Amber from the Alzheimer's Association. Come out and go for a walk on September 21st. This is Monsignor Rubino for LECOM Health Matters.